up for the Guinness Book of World Records, fastest talking female in the world. I also hold 9 world records. I did a book signing on top of Kilimanjaro down by the wreckside of the Titanic. I've written 22 books. I'm a comic. I do a lot of things. But the thing that I'm really excited about now is that I am joining the Tour of Love. And I am going to be joining it with a lot of talented people, and it's for a really good cause. So I am going to take actually an RV. I am just trying to find on the map what route I need to get to take this tour of love. There's got to be hearts or something on this. Anyway, I'll figure it out. In the meantime, why don't you find out what it is and join us. That was fun. I love it. So what hour are we in? What hour are we in? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm losing I'm losing it. So we're going to bring on to help me. We've got Danny Rocco and Gary Miller.
Hello, everybody.
We are here. I'm so excited. I dressed up for everybody today.
It's what, sorry?
I said I dressed up for everybody. You got to dress up and be shiny if you're going to be on the Tour of Love. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say to you, Danny. I was going to say you could at least have got dressed up a little bit.
I got to keep up with you.
Sorry?
I said I have to keep up with you.
Exactly, yeah.
I love it. Okay, so I am going to let you two introduce each other. And, actually, I'm going to take myself down from the line for a minute because I want to see this going on with the two of you for the tour of. We've got the beautiful, shiny Danny Rocco, and we have the really happening cool Gary Miller. Listen to that voice. I mean, oh yeah, I mean, keep it up. No, keep it going. Like, okay, a little bit more. Yeah, no, we're gonna share the love with you, Gary, because I love it. So I'm gonna let the two of you play for a little bit, and then I'll be back.
Okay.
Oh, good gosh, we get to play.
Just you and I again.
Just you and I. For everybody out there, when did I meet? Was it 2 years ago? A year ago? I've lost track.
No, it's longer than that. It's got to be over 2 years now. It's got to be over 2 years. It was the City Summit, wasn't it?
It was. We fell passionately in love. Exactly. Love at first sight. Just couldn't stay away from it, I was so attracted to you.
She's never left me alone since.
I know. Stalker. Total stalker.
I told you I'm going to call the police if you carry on. I'm going to call the police on you.
Just a little. I pushed the envelope just a little bit.
I'll let you off this time then.
Oh, Gary, tell everybody, who are you? Who is the famous Gary Miller, except for the one that broke my heart because...
Well, you're the one that disappeared, not me. Actually, I've been here all the time. You're the one that keeps clearing off.
That is true. Show up, take off, show up, take off.
You come in for 1 minute, then you go, and then you come back again. Now you're back again now.
I know. It's this dance we do together. Together.
Well, you look very nice, dear. It's very nice to see you after. I have been seeing you on this though. I've watched a couple of things what you've done on this.
Yeah, well, I pop around.
So I've been watching it. Don't you worry. I've been keeping an eye on you.
Oh, good. So that now when I show up on the West Coast, I'm not a stranger.
No, you're not a stranger anymore now.
I'm back in your world.
Exactly. Yeah, you are. Yeah.
But so I have all these questions that I want to know about Gary Miller. I want to when did you come to the United States?
Well, I've been in America now 16 years now.
Okay, so how is it after 16 years you still have that sexy voice that the voice that all the women go batty over? 16 years, you have to practice keeping that voice.
No, but I'm too old now. I'm too old to lose it. If I'd have been a bit younger, but I'm too old to start talking like an American now. And apart from anything else, there's nothing worse than an English guy with a little bit of an American accent, you know.
So when you get to a certain age and you're just stuck with your voice, that's how it is? I better start working on mine. What age is that? I need to get like a sexier voice going on like you.
Yours is fine, Danny. You do fine. Don't you worry.
All right. So 16 years ago, you came here. Why'd you come here? Where'd you come from?
Well, I came from London. I'm from Yorkshire in England, which is the north of England. But I lived in London, and I was in big production companies in London for quite a while, and they were really successful, and we had a lot of hit records and with a lot of big people. But then, because of my job, I used to come to Los Angeles, but I would come for, say, maybe 4 days to record. I would always stay at the Sunset Marquee in Hollywood. So basically, I used to come for 4 days. I'd record the people, and then there's a studio downstairs in the garage where the Sunset Marquee, where we all used to go and record, and then party on the night. Then when we finished, we'd go to the bar on the night time. You see, as
is this still here?
Are you going to the bar and getting drunk? I think that's how I saw you was drunk.
No, you were sober as can be. That's why you fell in love with me. I know. Sober.
That's what it was.
Nothing to do with the alcohol involved. Come on, you're taking away my fantasy.
Okay then. It was nothing to do with drink. Nothing at all. No.
Nothing at all. But go back. Is this like this hotel? Do they still do that? It's the party.
I mean, the Sunset Marquee is a really famous rock and roll hotel. I mean, Led Zeppelin used to stay there. Steven Tyler. And when they do the Grammys, everybody stays there. So they all out. You know, they congregate there after the Grammys. We'd start off there, then we'd go back there. But I used to go there to record, but it would only be there for 4 days. I'd only be there for 4 days, and I'd be laying by the pool, and then Brian, who was the head of the production company, would say, "Come on, Gary, we've got to go." And I'm looking at the sunshine, and I'm thinking, I don't want to go back to rainy old London, because every time I used to go back to London, it was always foggy and rain and horrible, you know. So I'd gone for 4 days. Go back again, and then we do that quite regularly. The record companies was paid for us to come back, so we do that. And then there was one period where there was a lot of success. I'd just done a David Bowie record and a Simply Red. I'd just written for Donna Summer, and I had another song in the charts in England, and my publishing deal was up with Universal. So they wanted to re-sign me, but I decided to go with somebody else, because by then I wanted to branch out into America. So we'd done all I could in England, really. I was with two of the biggest production companies. One was Stock Aitken and Waterman, which were responsible for Rick Astley, you know, You're Never Going to Give You Up, Kylie Minogue, and Bananarama.
Okay, so I got to stop you and talk about this, because we're here for the tour of love, you know, laughter through healing and all these things. Songs, music is so healing, and here you are doing some major cool things. Now, I have no musical taste at all. Someone told me that today.
So what music do you like?
Well, I kind of like country music. That's my jam right now. But you know what? I used to be super big into Frank Sinatra and that era. And then so I kind of move around, but I get stuck in these like genres every now and then. And I think whatever I must be going through is kind of my healing, or what my soul needs at the time. So like, what does your soul need at the time? Like, what is the biggest song that you've been part of that needs it?
There's been so many. I'm fortunate to have worked in a lot of different genres, from like Andrea Bocelli, which I love, to David Bowie, to the real cheesy pop stuff. And so I just basically I've always loved music, you know. And the thing is, it's a scientific fact that music is the fastest thing to anybody's emotions. I mean, you can put a record on, can't you? And you can hear a song that really touches your emotions. And I think that's the same for everybody. I mean, I don't know I've never ever met anybody in my life that says I don't like music, you know.
Isn't that the truth? So do you think if everybody puts on music every day, they will be that much more like in a better place, right?
Oh, definitely. And I think a lot of people do. I think because obviously it's not like you have to go home now and put a CD on or a record and you've got it on your phone, you've got it in your earbuds, you've got it everywhere. So I think more people listen to music now and buy music than ever before in history, you know.
How about do you sing to people? Like,
only
to me?
Only in the shower.
Come on.
Don't ask me. I'm not going to sing to you. That's one thing I'm not going to do. Now, I'm not really sing. But I do when I'm writing songs. I will sing the demo, and I will just sing a guide for whoever I'm working with. I do that just with an acoustic guitar, and that's all. But then I get proper singers to sing it, you know.
I did this. I had this thought the other day of things that I love, like things I love that heal me, right? Because this is what it is. Everybody out there that's watching, yes, you're going to get us going back and forth chatting and, you know, seeing Gary's love for me and why he's really the one that stalks me. It's not the other way around. Don't let him fool you. But we are here. So for Chemo Buddies for Life, it's cb4l.org. Donate because everything has this healing property. And right now I want to talk about music for this healing property. Is that things that I love? Things I love is cheesecake. Love cheesecake.
Very nice, yeah.
Right? Things I love is people singing to me. That's what brought it up, right? People singing. I wonder if there's anybody else out there that if Gary sang to us, our hearts would melt.
Oh, no, I can't. I mean, it's quite strange actually, you know, because I've performed on big stages and played in all the arenas and everything, but it's always different when it's a one-on-one thing. And a lot of people find that, you know, it's just like unless I'm writing,
yeah.
You know, but I'm not a good enough singer to sort of like just suddenly start singing you this song, you know. Not when people are watching anyway.
That would not raise the love vibration in the world, because I know if I sang to you, you would definitely run away, hang up, and be like, "We can't do this anymore."
So who's that, Danny? I've never heard of her before.
No, not happening. All right, so go back, because I do believe songs, music does, you know, raise the level of vibration. It brings love, you know, to the world, and it is part of this healing. So I want to go back into your healing, because that's what I'm going to call you. You're like the songwriter of love, the healer and lover of love.
Lover
of love. That is.
I'll take that one. Then that sounds good to me. Yeah.
All right. So you're going through all this, and in the beginning of your career, how did you get hooked up with all those cool people?
Well, to be honest with you, my career has been just a steady onslaught, really. I started playing guitar when I was like 9 years old. My uncles used to play guitar, so I used to want to always stay at my grandmother's because there was always music going on. So that's what I did. And gradually, in a nutshell, I started off playing when I was old enough. When I was 12 years old, when I played in my first club band, we used to do a lot of the working men's clubs. So I was 12, and so I started performing when I was 12 in clubs. Because I'm tall, I was only 12, but I was as tall as the 18-year-olds, you know.
Yeah.
So I actually got away with it. So I did a lot of working men's clubs when I was in Hull in Yorkshire. And then after that, it was, you know, I thought, well, I can't do any more here. And I wanted to write original music. And so I did that, and nothing was happening when I was living in Hull. So I thought I had to go to London. And that's when I started writing. And then I started doing some clubs there. But the big break for me was when I met a guy called Dion Estes, who was George Michael's bass player. And he said to me, I'm going on tour, because Wham had just split up. And he literally asked me there and then backstage at a concert at Wembley, would I fancy coming on tour with him? And it was like a dream. And it was the full George Michael Faith Tour, American tour.
Yeah.
It was really exciting for me. And I'd never been to California before. I'd been everywhere else, but never California. So it was a real dream of mine to come to California This was before I started coming, you know, before, you know.
Right. Well, I feel like I'm one separation. We should all feel one separation away from Wham. Come on, I loved Wham.
Yeah, they were fantastic, you know. And like, well, Dion Estes was in Wham from the beginning, and then when George split Wham up and did his solo album, he kept Dion with him, and then we used to open up for George. Half the band used to play and open up for George, and then play with George, because Dion Estes at the time, he had a hit record in America as well. So it was really, really good, you know. So like George was in 4 charts at the time, 4 major charts. So George Michael was the biggest for that 1 year. I think it was 1989. I think he was the biggest artist on the planet, I think. So that
really?
and the great thing about it was on the Faith tour with George is that because he was so popular, he'd always be sold out. So each town we went to, he'd be sold out in 3 nights. So the great thing, and George used to have to rest his voice, so we'd get there on the Monday, we'd perform on the Tuesday and the Wednesday, have the Thursday off, and then perform on the Friday. So we've got a lot of the time when you're doing them sort of arena tours, you maybe just doing one night. So you do one night and then you leave. But with George, he was there. We had to stay. We was there a week a lot of the time. You know?
And so, what did you do? Like, I'm just thinking. Like, I'm so enthralled in your story. Again, this is why so connected. No alcohol involved. You know, a little bit of stalking involved. But I'm thrilled about this. So, like, what did you do back then? I think stories are fascinating. I'm like so into his story, and we haven't even got past. He's probably only 19 years old.
I'm 16 because I'm 16 years old because I was born on a leap year, so I only have a birthday every 4 years.
Oh, so we are the same age. So
yes.
Well, there you go. That makes a lot of sense.
There you go. So, yeah.
Okay, but I have to know, what did you do with Wham? What did you do?
It wasn't Wham. It was when Wham had split up. It was just George.
Yeah, just let me go with Wham, okay? Let me just flip and retell your life story to fit my desires.
Well, trouble. I said you should be trouble tomorrow, didn't I? I said
you did. You're like, okay, you know, really? Are we we're gonna do this? And I do want to say that I want to share a little bit of comedy. Not that you guys are not comedy. However, I want to share a little bit of that because we've got some great pieces. Yet also, you know, I got to ask permission, though, because before we do some comedy, Gary, I have something queued up, and I don't know if maybe you'll allow me to play it or not. And that is, you didn't really get up to the point that Gary is the founder of Rock Against Trafficking.
No, we have not gotten to that.
Yeah. And there is one of your clips that we played on the Service Hero show, and I don't know if you'd allow us to play it, that honors your Rock Against Trafficking. And it kind of like sets up everything that you guys are talking about. And I think it might be a little fun for everyone to hear. Is that?
Yeah, cool. That's fine. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay, then, you know, let's do it.
You don't have to put on the red light. Those days are over. You don't have to sell your body to the light. Roxanne, you don't have to wear that dress tonight.
There you go.
There's a little bit of a teaser there.
You like the wonderful Glenn Hughes, and he was the singer in Deep Purple, was Glenn. And I mean, going back to that, like, obviously, I was in a lot of different places. We had a lot of hit records with Cher and Enrique, and we wrote and produced all these songs in England. And then, but when I came here, I remember somebody. It was a guy from Universal, a guy called David Junk, who brought me this leaflet, and it was like there was 27 million children in slavery, and I was thinking, this is crazy. This is just. I just don't believe it. But as I looked at what went on, all it was for me, I just thought, I just want to do something with music to help to do something. because it's the emotion things. And so basically, I just set about. He showed me this leaflet, and we was going to do something, but it never happened. So later down the line, I decided to just carry it on my own, and I decided I wanted to think of an artist that most musicians would like, and that what came to mind was Sting, obviously, and the Police, not Sting and the Police, because I don't want, because people when I say Sting and the Police songs, people think, you know, like it's like saying Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones, which is not the case. It's just that some of Sting's solo stuff and the Police, which I was a massive Police fan, you know. So basically, the idea was I wanted to pick an artist that lots of different genre, older people and younger people would go for, you know. And the Sting in his solo career has done a lot of jazz stuff, you know, Arabic stuff, all sorts of Spanish stuff, all sorts of different things. So I thought I wanted to do covers of his songs. And the first track that I did was, well, it wasn't that track actually, that was the second one. The first one that I did was So Lonely with Fergie and Slash, you know. So I wanted to pick, and it started off as just like a 3-month pro. I thought, well, I might be able to do this album in 3 months and things like that. So then I started contacting people that I knew and sort of the same. So somebody introduced me to Slash. I went and had breakfast with Slash, told him about it, and he just said to me, I mean, what do you want to do? And there was nobody else on board then. I didn't have a singer. I didn't have anything. And I said to Slash, well, is there anything you'd like to do of Sting or the Police? And he thought for a bit and he said, well, I do like So Lonely. So I went straight home and I put a track together of So Lonely and I sent him the track and he loved it. And then it was Slash that said to me, you know what, Fergie would be really good for this. So then he put me in touch with Fergie, and then Julian Lennon came on board, and Glenn Hughes came on board and did this. And then he was friends with Julian Lennon, and he mentioned it, and it just basically snowballed like that until he ended up with, on the album now, I've got Carlos Santana, Hart, En Vogue, Rob Thomas, Slash, Fergie, Ellis Hall, who's a very dear friend of mine. Who else is on the album? There's about 16 artists on the album. Carlos Santana, I don't know whether I mentioned him. So basically, what I did is as soon as I contacted somebody, I would do the track and just send it to them. And thankfully, all these artists from Slash to Fergie to En Vogue, they liked what I'd done. So they all agreed to come on. Not one of them charged me $1 at all. They came on, I sent them the track and they did it. And so that's done. And I've only been able to put 2 singles out because obviously the coronavirus is out. It is going around now. So,
what?
In the corona, is it what?
I heard you. I'm being sarcastic.
No, that's not like you, is it? Not like tomato.
You're cracking me up.
Never. No, so basically, it was just a progression, really, and it was only like a 3-month project. And I thought, well, once I've done that, but it just carried on. It's one of them things when and then once you can't unlearn, you can't get into something like that for 3 months and then go, oh well, I'm finished now. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Then I have other ideas with all sort of Hollywood Against Trafficking, which was all the famous actors that can sing. There's a lot of them. So I've got a full range of things that I want to do. You know.
Well, I feel like it's kind of like you and Tamara have that same heart, right? You have this idea. You see, like, oh my gosh. I mean, her story is amazing, and how she was touched by herself with cancer, and she went through it with her mother with cancer, and she just couldn't heal and be done. You know, she saw a need, a drive. She saw having people in your life, how raising the vibration of love. You know, you do it through music. She does it in her way. Hence why we're here today. So don't forget.
I mean, and what's happened is developed because I've just finished a record for mental health as well, and bullying and mental health. And we've got on this one. It's just one song though, and that comes out. I think it comes out 30th of December, I think. I'm not sure, but that's all the young millennials. These are the people that are famous but I don't know they are. You know, they're all big YouTubers, but we've got a really good record out there. And it's a girl called Meredith O'Connor that started it, and they just approached me and asked me if I would do the record. So I did that, and then also I got in with some people from the homeless as well. So it's just we're doing it with. I believe that music can be used for everything. You know, so that's the idea of using the power of music to help. You know, to help the homeless, the mentally ill, cancer, child trafficking. My organisation's Rock Against Trafficking. It was just that one thing, but it's great. It's developing into a lot of other things now as well. You know, I started off doing it for 3 months, but that was 9 years ago. I can't believe I've had this organisation.
9 years? I was going to say, how long has this 3 months been going on? 9 years.
3 months has been going on for 9 years now. Yeah. And the next project that I'm looking at the moment that's already started is the Spanish as well. So all the Spanish artists maybe doing some duets with what I've got now. So, but obviously for a year it's all been put back because of the corona. You can't do any events. You can't do this. You can't do that. And getting people to do things at this moment while we're all locked down. So I just thought, well, I'll just prepare. Because I moved into a new studio in Malibu last March when the pandemic hit, and I've been using all that time to work with doing lots. Well, I've been doing lots of other things as well, like working with hip hop. I've been working with a lot of new artists, you know, new up and coming artists as well, which has been really good through all this pandemic because they just send me the files and I go in the studio, I do it and send them it back, you know.
It's like, thank goodness now for technology. When when we were talking earlier about on the phone, and you were talking about how like things were shut down and COVID and all of this stuff, it made me think of like people that have cancer, right? They get isolated and shut down all the time. They're in a room and that nobody can come in. Their loved ones can't come in because they might infect them and their immune system's down. So I feel like we are getting this like small little like boop into a world that so many people are living in. And
well, to be honest with you, Dana, I mean, I live like that because I'm most of the time I work on my own. So what happens is I've got the studio and I do all the music and the writing and maybe some co-writing. But and they'll come in and sing the song, and then they go. Then I'm usually on my own. So this lockdown hasn't affected me in any way at all because I'm usually isolated in the studio anyway.
Thinking of me, right?
Thinking of you, darling. Yeah, always. But you don't write, you don't call, nothing.
But I fish for compliments all the time when I see you. I don't know what it is. I'm like drawn. I'm like the sucker.
Well, that's it. Well, you coming to? She's coming to California soon tomorrow. Remember?
I do need to. We were just talking about how this isolation, how COVID has kind of made people realize what isolation is and how important it is to have people in your life. You know, hence. Like these buddies, what you're doing is so important because imagine if you have nobody. I mean, Gary, you have me always, so I know pictures on the wall, like one of those pinups, the rock star. I totally see it in the studio, so I know you are taken care of because I'm your personal buddy.
That's okay.
But for people that don't have that, it is so important to have that person kind of pushing you through and being there, right?
Absolutely. In fact, Barbara, I was trying to queue up, Barbara, I don't know if you can hear me. I was trying to queue up a couple of the buddy stories that are in the YouTube, but they're not queuing up for me. If you could go in and possibly grab one or two of them and so we can share one, that would be great. I think she is possibly listening because, we have them. We've got the stories. And when you hear the need, because think of in terms of, Gary, you read that pamphlet. You read that pamphlet and you saw that there was a need. You thought about these children. You thought about the fact. You're thinking, oh my goodness, we got to do something, because, you know, putting your heart and your soul into the thought of there's a child out there that's feeling this.
Yeah, no, terrible.
We have people right now that are afraid that they don't know if their life is going to continue into 2021.
I know. Well, I know. It is terrible, really. For I can't imagine. You see, the thing is, that's another thing about music. When you're doing music, I mean, I can look at the clock and it could be 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning, and then the next time I look and it's like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, and I'm thinking, I don't know where the day's gone. And you do get I get a bit cabin fever. In fact, I've actually come over to Jamie's tomorrow.
Oh, tell him hi.
I'm actually, I don't know where he is. I'll bring him to say hello. So.
Yes. But, Jamie Guiley, one of my favorites too. Oh, yeah, yay.
I'm actually in his, because I came because you know, sometimes you're in isolation, all that, and I thought, I've got to get out today. So I thought, I'll go and see, I had to come and see Jamie, so I thought I'll do that, and I'll just stay here and do this. And see you lovely, gorgeous people.
Love it. Some of my favorite people here right now. And we have, I have to share this. This is one of the videos of someone that is on the tour of love, but she's trying to find us right now. So let me just put this up, and then we're going to watch this.
Okay.
Hey, this is Fran Capua, the Guinness Book of World Records fastest talking female, and I am about to head on the road on the tour of love, as you could see in our rented RV with our dog companion. All right, it's a picture, but we're looking for love across the country. Now, we'll keep our distance because we love you, but we don't want to get sick. But here's the thing. We could find love anywhere in any act of kindness. For example, there was one time that my husband and I were bike riding, and we were bike riding along this bridge, and we decided to stop in the middle of the bridge, and what do I see but a little worm hanging from the bridge? And I was like, Steve, this poor worm, the bridge is so far from the left and the right. How is this worm going to get anything to eat? So I took the worm, hopped on my bicycle, drove back to the other end of the bridge, and put him on a leaf. And I was so proud of myself. I gave him some love. And then when I came back, I said to Steve, I'm so happy. And he said, I have one question for you. How did you know he was going that way? I was like, oh no, you could have taken that poor thing a year to get there. And now I put him on back on the leaf, and the other ones are going, you left a year ago. What are you doing back? So I took the bicycle and I went back and tried to look for the worm, but I never found him. So just be careful on the acts of love that you give, that really, they're for the benefit of the person.
Look what I've got behind Clara. Hey, Clara. Jamie.
Jamie, I'm so excited to see you, Jamie Guiley, and meet Danny Rocco. And
you might remember that. Danny, I think Jamie met you, Danny, I think, briefly.
I'm looking in the background. Were you driving Gary 2 years ago?
Yeah.
During our massive connection, you pulled him away. And then there was issues. I
Uh-oh. There you go. All right. Well, you know, there's always a story behind the story, and
the story.
I just though that worm story. I don't know about you guys, but our friend Fran Capo, she is the Guinness World Record holder. Excuse me.
Fastest talking. Amazing. I always think, like, how can you talk that fast and like make sense? Because I can talk that fast, but it's going to be complete gibberish. No one's going to understand anything I say. But Fran can speak it, and it's
oh, it's clear. Well, and that's why I had to share it, because
nobody understands me anyway. Because I think, and I'm the English bloke.
My accent, you know. Yeah, but you know, you get away with it.
Well,
You get away with it, right? Right, Jamie? He gets away with it.
Well,
You just have to smile, and you have to just share that, Gary Miller charm, and you're good. You're good. And there's that smile. There you go. And
the smile, the accent. Come on.
And I wanted to just recognize the fact that Danny, thank you for introducing Fran Capo to us and the Tour of Love. That's why I had to share the fun and the laughter of that particular clip, because she was taken off to the Tour of Love. She's trying to find us, guys. She's sending in clips like, where are you?
All over. If she can't find us, I'm definitely not getting on her bus to come stalk you, Gary, because she's going to take me, I don't even know where.
Get on the bus and get yourself to California.
Well, I told you I'm going to Seattle tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. You are, right? Well, that's not far away.
No.
It's on the West Coast.
If this relationship is like meet 50-50, right? So like I'm getting all the way across to the West Coast. You can at least like scoot your little tuchus up a little bit.
I suppose I could go to Santa Barbara.
That's not Seattle. What is that? That's not meeting halfway. That's not giving.
I have to say, I'm loving this because you guys are just giving me great material right now, because what is it that we do? What is it that we do at the Buddies? We actually help buddies to kind of like this whole meet me halfway, and you gotta show me a little love and such. A lot of people find that kind of thing through matching sites, right? Well, we do have a matching site for buddies for both the patient and the support buddies. Now, it's a little different kind of, remember, humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of agape love. But we didn't put that in the song. However, wink, wink, that's kind of like where we're going. However, with the fact that that companionship, that meeting you halfway, I'm loving this interchange, because how appropriate is it to really see, the banter back and forth, yet we want to have companionship. We want to have that fun. We want to be there for each other.
No, I agree, definitely, yeah. I've always been there for Danny, but she just keeps ignoring me.
Well,
I've always been there for her all the time.
I know.
Sometimes it gets overwhelming and I have to run away because you scare me. My heart might go too far and then there's chaos involved.
Jamie, what do you think about these two? What you going to do?
He knows.
What are you going to do?
Away, Gary. Pulled you away. He's an accomplice to all of this.
Exactly.
You know what?
In the first place,
And I want to say that the three of you, in fact, Gary and Jamie Guiley, I'm so happy that you're both here, because I did recognize the two of you the very first year as the Service Hero for the Service Heroes Award for the work that you're doing, because we do need to, on a global level, come together and make a difference. And the whole reason that Service Hero Show is even out there is for the buddies. And the buddies are so important. And I'm going to share a video right now about why it is that we are raising funds and we are encouraging buddies to be enrolled in a free program that will absolutely make their lives a much better quality and possibly a much longer life. So here you go.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been showing that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. We'll match you with the perfect buddy. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
We're offering you a free membership, so please sign up today. Share this with your friends and family, and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a Chemo Buddy for life.
We are a Buddies Network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are Chemo Buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for life.
Healing through connections.
Very nice. Very nice.
That just brings home so much, right? Like Gary and I can have this fun banter back and forth because we became buddies, and that's it. And so for you to have a platform, for you to have a service, a nonprofit, and then to spend 36 hours straight, I don't know how you do it, because let me tell you, it's past my bedtime over here on the East Coast.
You're on the East Coast, aren't you? So it's what?
Yeah, like it's almost midnight.
Oh, it's early. It's in the middle of the night.
I know.
I see trouble already, Jamie. What do you think?
I know, but for you to actually back on track. Don't try to take me off track, Gary. It's very easy to do. I'm like a squirrel. I'm like this glittery outfit I wore for you. But to laugh or to cry, whatever it is, you need it. And sometimes we don't want it. I feel like that's when we need it the most, right? When we don't want to reach out and say, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I cannot wake up and go through this, one more day. That is the most important time.
Yeah, I mean, going back to what you said, obviously for me and for, being in the music business, you can always find things to do. But if somebody has to get up in the morning and they can't go out, they can't do anything, I just can't even imagine. If their work takes them elsewhere, and I know a lot of people work from home now anyway, but the people that don't, like I said, even tonight, I had to get out from the studio today, so I called Jamie, and so just to get out of the studio for a bit. But it's not so bad in Malibu because it's not all locked down like everywhere else,
Right.
Hollywood is, and even in Venice where we are now, that's sort of, you can't go into a restaurant, but in Malibu, it's more of a community in Malibu. So, and people have got a bit more common sense than, I always think that for this Corona thing, prevention is better than the cure. So, nobody, so, it's a bit different for me in Malibu, and I'm in the mountains now, which is wonderful. It's a wonderful area, but I don't know what these people, when they can't get out, I can't even imagine what it must be like.
Right? Yeah. Not even have the energy to go to have a job or to work and things like that. So for donating, if you're out there, I always say everybody could donate something, even if it's $5. If every friend donated $5, imagine what the $5 would be.
Yeah, well, exactly. I think the American people do want to help and do want to the most charitable people they are. I think it's just the powers that be that are not. That's what I feel anyway. But the normal people, they really want to do good things in America. They want to do good things for people, and unfortunately, it's people like yourselves and what we're trying to do. We have to do it, because they just don't get any help. And I know the difference because I'm from England, and I see the difference, the help you get in England to the help you get in America. So it's very, I think it's very tough for people in America at the moment,
Well, and thank you for recognizing that and bringing that up, because of the fact that really when you think about what is a 501c3, a nonprofit, and you both work with, all three of you have worked with nonprofit companies, and we are companies. We are a company that has a certain tax structure. And the reason for that is, this is critical to understand. And that is the reason that the tax situation is the way it is because the services that we give should then allow for the government to not have to do it. And so then they're saying, okay, well, if you're going to take care of this 501c3 nonprofit, then we don't have to.
Yeah,
So in that, we will then go ahead and say, you don't have to pay us, because that money that you're using to go help the community that you're serving is going to help the government. So you see, every which way you look at this, it's a win-win-win. It's a great philanthropic way of thinking, guys. And we're going into Tuesday tomorrow. Tomorrow, Tuesday, is the biggest giving day of the year. It's called Giving Tuesday. It's a worldwide movement that's been taking place and getting bigger and bigger every year. And the encouraging thing here is to think in terms of, yeah, go plant a tree, go clean up the street, go do whatever it is in a socially respectable way, given what's happening out there. Wink, wink. However, with that said, give time, give resources, give hope, give.
Well, you can't. I mean, look, Jamie's got his own little business in Venice now, but he goes round and he feeds all the homeless here in Venice. I
love you even more, Jamie Guiley. You are a superstar. You are.
We all can do something, and it actually it doesn't have to be a lot. It can just be. But if everybody did it, I think my organisation is different, because what I want to do is, I'm not one for going cap in hand. I mean, most of the stuff for Rock Against Trafficking, you know, we haven't had donations, we haven't really asked for donations, and we haven't done fundraisers either, because I'm trying to create a self-sustainable business, but it's charity based, so that can, you know, and that's the difference with our and where our Rock Against Trafficking is more about.
I'm giving you a hand on that one.
I thought you were gonna,
she has props. I don't have any props. You have props.
Where's my prop?
I gotta have fun. My nonprofit deals with cancer, and we are finding ways to laugh through it because it's healing.
Yeah.
There you go. So yes. You got a hand on that one.
Well, you right. There's giving in all the different ways, you know, right? Like, so the way you're giving back to raising the vibration in this universe that we are blessed to be in, you know, to sit here in, is your way. Tamara, you're doing it in your way. I do it in my way.
Exactly,
I'm not really sure what that is besides leading with love and giving Gary a hard time, but still.
Well, you're helping the military. And you're doing a lot.
Work,
you're in the military. Have you got the uniform and everything?
Well, no. So I am a military mom. Did you know this about me, Gary? My son is a Marine.
No, I didn't know that.
Fun fact about Danny Rocco. Fun fact. Yeah, I'm a Marine mom. So that's what I do. I give my heart and my soul to the military community.
Well, that's another thing about the veterans. They're not. I mean, obviously, I'm English, but the thing is, I still, you know, when I see the veterans begging for food on the street, that should never, in my man. I mean, if you walk around Venice now, all on Venice Broadway, it's all tents where all the homeless.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's insane, really. You know, and the veterans should be looked after, like the homeless, the old people, the children. I feel that they should be looked after. You know,
it is. It takes the collaboration of everybody, because I am sure, like, the people that go through the trauma that you see, through the trafficking, and then you were saying the bullying, you know, all of that stuff sits, you know, being in the military and going through that, it changes you as a person. I saw my son. I've seen so many, but that trauma sits in you. And it's icky, and it develops, you know, disease and decay, and cancer is, you know, that's what happens. So having this collaboration of, you know, all of us, we're just 4 people sitting here doing this. it takes more than just one person, because cancer affects everybody eventually down the road.
I mean, the problem with rocking, because often when I started Rocking Against Trafficking, I've not even heard of a 501c3. And me and Jamie were working together, and we did the best we could. But you know, when it comes to doing the music, that's fine. I don't need anybody. But then you need all these other professional things. And then me and Jamie used to be working nearly 24/7. I'd be in the studio downstairs working. But then you need other people that understand it more. And we didn't, so we had to just learn as we was going along. I mean, I learned a lot. I'll tell you, not what I learned. I definitely learned what not to do. That's one thing. Nothing else.
And I'm gonna give a cue to Barbara Beckley right now, because she's going to cue up a video because of the fact that we created something, or I created something, to share again what it is that we're doing and how it does actually make a difference in the world. So go ahead, Barbara.
Hello, my name is Tamara Hunter, and I want to welcome you to Chemo Buddies for Life. We believe in healing through connections, and in fact, we believe it so much. I am out here in nature right now, connecting, because we also believe in healing through nature. You will be taking a journey with us, like this river here. And in this journey, you're going to be connecting not only with other buddies, you'll be connecting with yourself. We have the celebration journal, and we are going to make sure that you have one of your own. You will have an opportunity with our community to connect with yourself. Also, within the journey that you're going to be taking with us, you'll have an opportunity to create your own profile. In it, you'll be either announcing that you have heard 3 words our community has heard. You have cancer, either for yourself or for someone that you love. I'm holding these purple flowers because, you know, purple represents many things in nature. First of all, it's beautiful. It represents a higher frequency. And Chemo Buddies for Life, year 2020, we declared it to be the year of love. We believe in the frequency of love. We also know that purple is the universal cancer color. So when you declare on your profile what cancer you've been associated with, you can either decide to tell us which one or go with the purple, universal. Also, you know, as I'm standing here looking at this beautiful view, it makes me think of the fact that we are a community. We are building a worldwide community. And it's like this river that I'm staring down at. You know, when you think of a river, it comes from a variety of different areas. There may be snow that's melted. There may be different creeks that have come together. And then it goes on its journey just like down this way. It has a fork in the road, a fork in the river. So does our website. Our website, as you get to know it, as you get to know the community, you're going to find that you can have a buddy of your own, or you can fork in the road and you can decide to go off into the community, of which we have so many things to offer for you. So the bottom line is this, is get to be a part of like this community river, like the river that's come together from all different areas. We are bringing people from the United States, from Canada, from Europe, from Asia, from Africa, from all areas of the world. We are a global family, and we welcome you. So come and join us. Be a part of the community. Get involved. We're going to help you through every single step of the way. I am glad that you have found us. So now, let us get you to be a part of our community. We are healing through connections. We are healing through buddies. Welcome.
Very nice. I like that, Tamara. That was great. That really good.
Well done.
You were so cute. I want to like squeeze your face.
Oh, hang on, Jeremy.
Both of you, all of you. I'll squeeze all of your faces, but I was talking to her. Don't steal the show.
Tamara face or mine or Jamie? Which one?
Pardon?
Tamara. Whose face do you want to squeeze?
Tamara's face, not yours, not this time.
Tomorrow, you know.
Well,
Here we go. Jamie,
we'll have to leave it till tomorrow then. when you see me in Seattle.
Well, there you go.
You come up and you meet halfway in Seattle. Exactly.
That's not halfway.
You know, party. I hear party. Jamie, you're in California. I'm in California. I'm hearing party.
Exactly.
Oh, that's right. We're not allowed to be doing parties like that.
Well, we're here, Danny. So you should, from Seattle, you should come from Seattle to California. It's only down the road.
Again, you're very needy and having me do all the work. Buddies means 50-50.
All right. I'll be there then. What time?
Okay, well, now you're getting into complications that is past bedtime. This is when I have to flutter away.
So I'll
play hard to get.
I'm gonna write this down.
Playing hard to get again. Look.
I know. It is.
Okay, I'm writing this down. Like, okay, what time and everything.
Yes,
well, you know what I'm going to say is what time it is we're about done with this hour, though it's been fun, and I absolutely, I can't say how much I adore all three of you. This is just such a great, you know.
Gone already, look.
I know.
It's talking. I'll tell you what we should. Danny, me and you maybe we should think of a show that we should co-host. I think that could be pretty good. That, don't you?
Okay,
I do.
Let me just segue into that one, Gary. Thank you very much for that. Get you guys' phones out because calendar. Get the calendar out. Let's see. It is going to be on Sunday, December the 6th. We have our very first tour of Love weekly coffee time chat. Yes.
Come on, Gary.
You guys are just gonna have to come over for some coffee, and we can continue this conversation. And yes, the E360 TV family is going to be continuing supporting our tour of love. And guys, just wait, we're going into 2021 with passion and a lot of fun, so we can continue this. I love, you guys set it up perfectly. You guys are gonna have to come back.
I can't believe we've been sat here for an hour already. Really,
I know my bum's not even sore. I'm all jazzed up.
Well, there you go. Do you have a pillow that you're sitting on, or was it just because I'm not even gonna go there? Jamie, you're so cute with you. Just like, okay, I'll be quiet and just smile.
That little hand you've got, you'll have to lend me it. You have to promise when I see Danny again. That's I need one.
No, just keep that away from him.
I need one of those for you.
You know what? I'll send you one.
Send me one. That can be prepared. So when I see Danny, you see.
Okay. I'm going to put a disclaimer on here, though. Yeah. To be used only to clap like this.
I was thinking of something else, actually. But
I'm not going there. This is a family show. No, okay. No. It is at the top of the hour, and we've got the next hour to start. You guys are delightful. I absolutely love all three of you. Thank you so much for being here. Being a part of this, and please, 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 everybody that is watching this, be sharing this content out. It's fun. We're having a great time, and it is all to do one thing, to share that we can change the way that the world is handling the year 2020 and 2021 with one word: love. Mm-hmm. And that love can help to heal the pain, the suffering, and yes, the disease. We can make a difference, all of us together, yet we need to do exactly what we've been doing today. We need to draw together and have fun and, joke with each other and everything. And so that we can change the way that the world is done. Yes, exactly. Gary.
There's one other thing as well, which I want to tell you about. I'm involved with I think I might have mentioned to you, Danny, I'm involved with the Las Vegas Awards. So I'm the musical director when we get into 2021. But what I've said to them, we're going to use it charity-based. So we can use the charities. And we've got like 50 hotel rooms for the new Virgin Hotel. And I've said to the guy that I'm working with, it needs to be charity-based. So there's some things we can do for your charities as well. So bring competition so we can bring people over. We can put them in a hotel and come to the show and everything.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Veterans and Chemo Buddies and Las Vegas and Danny and Gary. Okay, come on.
What about Tamara and
well, that you're in there, of course. Let's go.
Okay. We get grandfathered in. What is it? I'm all for it. Okay, guys, I gotta go.
All right. And
so we can start the next hour. This is great fun. We will have you again. Remember, we're gonna have the tour of love continuing.
I'm always happy to do anything I can.
And I know it. I love you guys.
All right, Danny. Thank you very much.
Ciao.
Bye.
I'll speak to you as well. See you in Seattle tomorrow.
Yes. 2:30.
Here.